Hey, everybody. This is another week 7 of my top 10. And I want you guys to enjoy this conversation for this week of college football. So, this week, I'm going to give you my top 10 best college football teams who I feel is the best college football teams this week. So, last week, like any other week, like I said before, I have given you week to week the teams that I think is the best top 10 teams of that week, going all the way back to my preseason or even back to the way too early. So this week, like I always do every week, I dissect, look at the games, and look at everything about the teams, who they played, how they played, and then I make my choice on who I feel is the best top 10 teams in all of college football, no matter what the conference is. So I just think that every week, like I do, I fluctuate. Every week fluctuates on these teams because you can't just have the same teams that the AP or the coaches poll have all the time. That's why I make my own choice who I think. In a few weeks, all this is going to be irrelevant, but still, our inputs still do matter. Who we think is the top 10. That's what makes it fun about college football, watching the games every week, and then we can give our input on who we think is the best teams. Now, I looked at this week's slated games in week 7, and wow, it was a crazy week of college football, to say the least, because you had teams that got upset. Many teams got upset. I'm not going to say the names. Everybody by now know all the teams that got upset. Big teams. Wow. Well, I will say one of the teams that shocked me was Alabama losing to Vanderbilt. That was a shocker. And then another shocker was a lightweight shocker was USC losing to Minnesota. So, and kind of not all the way as shocking as Tennessee losing to Arkansas, but everybody thought Tennessee would win that game. So this week was a crazy week of college football. It's exciting. That's what makes college football so exciting, is the fact that you have all these different games that everybody thought was chalk, but it ended up being down to the wire games or outright upsets. Outright, a team that doesn't or didn't everybody thought was supposed to win end up winning, like Vanderbilt beating the number one team this week, Alabama. Nobody's seen this coming, including me. So with all of this, it shakes up the top 10 and also the top 25. So looking at the AP poll and the coaches poll, some of the like the top 10 and top 25, I like what some of these teams that they chose. I think is just they just being lazy. The AP pollers, I think that they could have did a lot more better research of the game because they had time before they turn in their polls, their ballot sheets. Some of these teams, I think, should be punished. Like Alabama has to be punished. They have to be because, to be fair, if Notre Dame a couple weeks ago lost to Northern Illinois, okay, and they got dropped out of the top 10 and down in the top 25. Okay, so Alabama has to drop. The AP got it wrong. They should have dropped Alabama out of the top 10. and put them like in the mix with all the other teams. And I don't want to hear nothing about how many teams that is in the top 25 can beat Alabama. Well, a lot of them. Then if Vanderbilt can do it, any other team too. So don't give me that. That argument is mute and out the window. They dropped Notre Dame. Alabama should be dropped too. They should be punished for this loss. They shouldn't be where they at now. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. That's why when I do my top 10, I actually look at the games and the teams that, like I say, each week to week, when I make my choice who to be the top 10 in my top 10, I look at and consider upsets like this. I just don't drop them just a few. Nah, they're going to drop a lot because if they lose to a team like Vanderbilt that was unranked like that, not even in the top 60 or 70, nah, you got to drop. You got to be punished because I do my top 10 week to week on, like I said, on performances, not because they have a name or they don't have, they got a blue blood name. No, it don't matter to me. If you're not playing well this week, another team that's close in talent to you and everything is going to pass you. It's going to jump you, and you're going to fall in the rankings. So that's why when you see my top 10, you're going to see some changes in it. Because like I said, I change my top 10 every week. And up to this point, man, college football has been amazing. We waited all these months for college football to come down. It's like it's coming week to week, and it's going like moderate to fast a little bit. So I just want all you college football fans out there to enjoy this college football season because it comes and goes, and it be a lot longer off season. So every game, man, means a lot, and enjoy it. And I just have to say that some of the teams that we didn't think was any good is end up surprising us, like Rutgers, like Indiana, like even Illinois, in Vanderbilt, like lightweight Kentucky to a certain degree, and it just good for college football when this happens. And Nebraska, that's another team. And another thing, don't leave out and forget about Colorado, because I want everybody to know that just because teams didn't do well in 2023 or 22, 21, that don't mean that they're not better improved this year. Because a lot of people just got in their mind, this team was trash or garbage last year, not playing well. So they got in their mind that that same team is going to play like that this year. And no, every year to year, teams improve. Some teams get worse and some teams get better. And also, everybody got to consider that some of these teams get transfer portal guys that's come from one team that didn't get enough playing time, that was a good player, and goes to another team and start developing more in a different system, and they start playing better. And with a few transfer portal players from each team, that team improved. And I think that's happening in some of these squads around the country. They're improving. And plus, you got NIL getting some top players too. So the landscape of college football is changing. So teams that you thought that wasn't any good or was bad in the past, now they're starting to get better now. So the mind frame that you got about, this team and that team is used to just being bad, that's not going to be the case going forward. And the proof is in the pudding this week of upsets, major upsets. So everybody just thinking that it's going to be the same going forward. No, it's going to be some new teams that is going to start maybe being consistently good winners. We'll see, though. So just keep that in mind. I hope everybody enjoyed this college football season to the end. Every game, including the 12-team college football playoff, because this is going to be explosive. very exciting and entertaining. So I just want everybody that haven't chimed in yet and in this live, I just want everybody to, comment, chat with me today. This is fun. This is the night, Sunday night. I know you got the NFL on. A lot of the games already is over. I think you got one game left, and that's the Steelers game against the Dallas Cowboys. That's the last game is on the slate for the night. But the ones that is either watching that game or not, I want you to chime in right now. All the college football fans out there, if you're getting this chat right now, chime in. I got a few comments asking who y'all think is the top 10. Who y'all got at the top 10? Who do y'all got as y'all number one team in the country? Who y'all think is the best conference? Is it the ACC? Is it the Big 12? Is it the two members of the Pac-12 with a few teams, or the Big 10? So you got the Big 10, the SEC, ACC, Big 12. Who y'all got as the best conference? And even the small conferences, the Group of Five, and the MAC. That's leave that in your comment. Who y'all got as y'all best conference? Who y'all got as y'all number one team? Top 5 team. I do a top 10, but y'all can do a top 5. And what I haven't talked yet is Heisman. Give me somebody that is a Heisman front runner, or like a couple of players. It could be one player who y'all just say is out over the rest. Also, who y'all got like is the best freshman so far balling out, the best freshmen so far of this 2024 season. And also, who y'all think out of the freshmen will be invited to New York for the Heisman, and or getting the Biletnikoff for the wide receivers or other awards for running backs or best linemen, offensively and defensively. Leave that in the comment so far. So, yeah, just have fun with this. I see a few people coming in my chat. I need a few more to come in and chime in. This is fun talking about college football. I believe college football, it is right now the number one sport, the best sport. Although some can argue and say the NFL, but I say me watching both, I love college football. I feel it's more genuine and it's still like number one to me. So come everybody, I'm still waiting for a few more people to chime in. Who y'all got as y'all top 10? Who y'all think is the number one team? Y'all think is Texas? Do still some people think it's an SEC team like Tennessee, Georgia? Who y'all got? Big 10. Do y'all got Oregon, Penn State, or the Ohio State Buckeyes? Who y'all got? Or the Big 12, or do y'all think in the ACC? Do y'all think Miami, or is Clemson back on the uprise? Who y'all got as y'all number one team? I just want to say that I just hope that it don't be like I said last week, any blowouts. I know it's going to be some blowouts, but I feel that most of the time I like competitive games and surprise games like we had this week in college football. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to reveal my top 10 teams. And like I said before, if you like my top 10, let me know. If you don't like my top 10, let me know. And like I said before, give me your top 10. So without further ado, ladies, all college football fans out there, I'm about to give you my top 10 of this week, week 7, 2024. Here we go. You guys can see everybody can see my top 10. So, like I said before, you can agree with my top 10 or disagree with my top 10, but these are the teams that I feel has been playing really good football. Even though some of the teams that I have in my top 10, I say that they lost a game early in the season, and I say that they rebounded, they got better because each team week to week has gotten better. I feel so. I just feel that every week is different. So maybe this week, your version of the top 10 might not be like next week because, like I do, it fluctuates. And I know some people seeing that I got Indiana and Colorado, some of the teams that y'all think, oh man, it's outrageous. But no, these teams have been playing well. Colorado has been playing better. And also, I feel that Colorado, everybody thinking of last year's Colorado team. I feel that this year's Colorado team has gotten better. This team has gotten a lot better. So just because last year's team that they line wasn't playing well and their defense wouldn't get to the quarterback, wasn't playing well, I think this year Colorado has gotten better in a lot of teams. Like I said, Indiana, although people could say, "Oh well, they ain't played nobody," but the teams that they've been playing, they've been really consistently beating well and blowing out some of the teams, scoring up in the 40s and 50s points every game. So, and plus they bowl eligible. Miami, congratulations, Miami Hurricanes and the Indiana Hoosiers for being bowl eligible. And for both of those teams, especially Indiana, it's been a minute since they became bowl eligible, was able to participate in the bowl. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my college football week 7, 2024 top 10 teams. So I'm going to be, like I said, every week on a Sunday after each game is played on a Saturday in the regular season. I'm going to be dropping my top 10. Most of the time, I want to drop it around between 2 and 3. But today, it just had a lot of things going on. So I had to drop it at this time period. So, but on a normal basis, I drop my top 10 like around 2 or 3 every Sunday. I know that's about the same time the AP and the coaches supposed to drop their top 10. So what I like to do is make sure that I get a lot of teams the last look before I make my top 10 to be fair. So you guys have seen my top 10, and I just want you one last time to chime in and tell me and give me your top 10, and also who you think is number 1, and who you think has the best conference, or who is going to win a Heisman, or who is in the front as a Heisman front runner, or do you got like a couple of guys? So just leave that in the chat. And with that being said, I'm going to be ending this, and I'll be coming back next week and the week after giving you my top 10. And also just having a conversation on Heisman, like I said, and other topics y'all want to comment on, anything else. A surprise player that y'all think should be getting consideration for the Heisman or any other award, or a team that off the radar. that is playing well and nobody's talking about. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, all you college football fans out there, I will see you next week. Have a good one.